if Indian moms who are sustainability experts found out that the ChatGPT used these many buckets of water that is equal to like 2.8 million cups of chai. So they would run behind Sam Altman or Satya Nadella with a balun.
I don't know. For me, it's all Ghibli actually.
Oh, okay. At Loiza, I'd use that this Ghibli AI trend serves as OpenAI's clever marketing strategy. Professor Siddharth Deshmukh, the traveling professor who bridges education and digital transformation.
You see our parents, they were very good at basic mathematics. Now, our generation with the calculator, we have stopped using our brains.
In a recent stand up, the comedian mentioned that the only thing that separated humans from other organisms were brains, and the only thing that we have stopped using is brains. Mr. Madhish Parikh, National Youth Awardee and founder of Elixir Foundation.
There, our carbon offset is zero.
So by 2027, AI could consume up to 6.6 billion cubic meters of water, more than six entire Denmark's use annually.
I'm not too sure whether they should be doing any marketing at the moment. They shouldn't try to give a people false hope or false pictures about the way in which they can do things. One of the most innovative ways in which they can do something around it is to
As general people who use AI, they're not aware of all these things, how much water is consumed, because it is their data servers and everything.
I don't think that trying to find a balance might be the most sensible thing to do because tech is always going to be one step ahead. It's a no-win game, to be honest.
Dabble the public only on air with Aashka. Welcome to the very first episode of our Fresh podcast segment featuring non AI experts. Professor Siddharth Deshmukh, the traveling professor who bridges education and digital transformation, and Mr. Madhish Parikh, a National Youth Awardee and founder of Elixir Foundation. Thank you so much for being our guinea pigs today. With this fresh podcast segment, we aim to put authentic voices like yours to represent what the general public is actually thinking about some AI breakthroughs. And I'm thrilled to have this conversation with you. So thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure is all
Uh,
ours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Let's dive straight into the questions and let's start with the latest trend, the Studio Ghibli or Ghibli. How do you pronounce it? Like, is it Ghibli or is it Ghibli?
I don't know. For me, it's all Ghibli actually.
That's interesting. Yeah. So maybe let's go with Ghibli. I guess that's the Japanese version.
I thought it's a Japanese animation style, like I call it Ghibli, but as I said, it's like a
It is gibberish, anyways, to us. Yeah. So maybe let's go with Ghibli for now. And have you created any Ghibli art forms of yours or any iconic characters so far to just get on the trend?
No, for me, I haven't really tried it out because I'm little in two minds about it. Because I'm not too sure whether it is a copyright violation or what it is. It seems like a fun thing to do. Everybody at the uncle is doing it, but I haven't done it so far.
Okay, okay. What about you, Madhi?
For me, the FOMO has not struck me so far.
Yeah, same for me. I haven't done it. Like what you said, Professor Sadat, one of the LinkedIn top voices has also quoted in her LinkedIn post. Louisa argues that this Ghibli AI trend serves as OpenAI's clever marketing strategy to collect new personal images for training their feature models. And when users upload these kind of personal photos to get Ghibli style portraits, they are unknowingly providing fresh content without explicit lawful consent. Avoiding the stricter rules that would limit open AI from scraping the public's personal photos from the internet. So essentially, this viral entertainment has become a sophisticated data collection mechanism. Of course, Professor said that you brought this up, but Madish, do you agree with her?
So I was reading some of the articles on X formerly called Twitter, I came across some articles where they mentioned that, they're trying to analyze human faces, and they're trying to collect some information. And, nowadays, I think the digitization is not just with thumbprints or passcodes, it is also facial recognition with a lot of things now. Your phones open with your face,
Yeah.
the airport gates open with your face, and there is a lot of facial access that we provide. So in this time, if your information, like like your facial data is somewhere on a platform, and what if someone accesses it? So it's like theory sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So another post by LinkedIn Top Voice mentions that the problem is the breakneck speed that AI development and deployment is happening. So how do we kind of create a balance between innovation and proper ethical frameworks? So if we want to build the AI industry along with and with respect to the artists, musicians, and all creative people and their intellectual property rights. So how do we create that balance?
So, my personal view on this is I like to take a step back and look at how Napster did things right before things got regularized through, Apple's iTunes and stuff like that. So, I think that there will be some sort of semblance of sense that comes in through some player actually cracking a business model that people haven't yet so far cracked, which will allow creators to make some money, which will allow people to actually get some fair remuneration for whatever they're doing. So that is what I would say if I have to look at past patterns. What I would also probably say is that if you look at the way in which tech has always bullied or surpassed the speed at which the rest of society comes in, I don't think that trying to find a balance might be the most sensible thing to do, because tech is always going to be one step ahead.
Yeah.
So the moment you put up some rules, there'll be some tech advancement which is going to actually break through those rules. So it's a no-win game, to be honest. So my feeling is that we still haven't cracked the puzzle. I think somewhere there is a deep intrinsic connect between us developing tech at the speed at which we are doing, and us developing rules for society at the speed at which we are doing, which probably is linked to evolutionary consciousness or something like that. I don't know.
Got it. Got it. What are your thoughts, Madish?
I very much resonate with what Professor Siddharth said. I also see that the evolution of tech is human driven, because, we want to make our lives easy. We want to want to bring solutions on the table, so it's like a symbiotic relationship now. We are more dependent on the tech than we were dependent maybe say 50, 60 years before. I think the advancement of tech, same time, of course, it's driving our lives very easy. We can do a lot of things from our phone now. Like, we are able to communicate through this online platform right now. It's because of tech. So there are many positives about the tech, right? But there is also a question that how much submissive are we to the tech? That's also another question. Maybe if we have that sort of capabilities, we may think and we may ask such questions. But what about the new generation that's coming up? They are exposed to such technologies right from the childhood, and their evolving of the brain is very different. Like, if you see our parents, they were very good at calculating basic mathematics, like the accounts, the finances. Now, our generation with the calculators, after calculators, we have stopped using our brains. It's like, for even a simple calculation, you need a calculator or a mobile. Now, if you see, our generation, we know how to write emails, but now the next generation which is coming up, they will not even know how to write an email because
Yeah.
they use ChatGPT.
Completely transferred their cognitive abilities to
The
AI.
generation which is coming up is more submissive to these technologies. You have to use these technologies as a good complement. How they complement in whatever we do, but not just entirely submit ourselves. That's what I think.
Yeah, got it, got it. And in a recent stand-up that I saw, the comedian mentioned that the only thing that separated humans from other organisms were brains, and the only thing that we have stopped using is brains. So definitely we are heading towards that direction. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. Let me share my screen first. Yeah, so it is around the sustainability part, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So the context is AI drains fresh water through two critical paths. Scope 1, direct cooling of servers, and scope 2 is electricity generation through water, collectively known as the operational water consumption. Training a large language model like GPT-3 can consume millions of liters of fresh water. That is just 3% of what is available. And running GPT-3 inference for 10 to 50 queries consumes 500 milliliters of water. And with GPT-4, this number is even higher, and now we are almost reaching GPT-5 era. So by 2027, AI could consume up to 6.6 billion cubic meters of water, more than six entire Denmarks used annually. So while tech giants' water consumption continues to surge a year over year with minimal public disclosure, we discussed the use of AI for environmental solutions like cleaning up the oceans from plastic waste, etc. And Madhish, I know that Elixir Foundation is working towards cleaning up plastic waste around water bodies. So, how do you balance the environmental benefits of those AI solutions with potential environmental costs of AI's water consumption and the two that is fresh water consumption? So, how do you balance that?
So we do not put such mathematics equations. We do our own part, what we feel, what we can do. And I think, it is a responsibility of every one of us to do our bit, how we can do and what capacities we can do. For example, we have our own consumptions, we have our own different lifestyles, and there is a lot of water consumption. There are very good case studies in communities where the carbon offset is zero. They live such lifestyles. In the city of Ahmedabad, there is one good guy, Lokendra Balasaria. He does some phenomenal work on these lines. We as an organization, we try our best to sensitize communities, to change, to bring certain changes in our lifestyles and try to address this immediate crisis. What we do, I think overconsumption, and over consumerism is one of the biggest challenges that we see in our lifestyles, especially with the young people. But now the new generation that is coming up is that is okay to go to thrift stores to buy clothes, which are pre-loved, something like this. So I think they have good consciousness around these things. So I think there is a good change that I see working with the young community. They are engaged, they support us in a lot of initiatives like this where we do mass cleanups, mass plantations. They are sensitive around these issues, and I see good work is happening, and we try as much as possible that we can do.
Got it, got it. So I had a follow-up question on that. In specifically to the context of AI, there have been certain regions that are depleted more with the like where the data centers are located. They are like the water usage over there is overly higher. It might kind of end up in a place where the general public's water needs are not met in the near future. So, do you think that region based water caps or some kind of solution can be put into place so that one particular region is not over depleted and the water usage is uniformly distributed amongst various regions?
So I'm not a technical expert on this, frankly speaking, on the solution of channels of water, but I know something very basic is, we should not change the course of rivers or natural water bodies. That creates destruction of ecosystems. So we
Yes.
should not be doing it. Number one. Secondly, I'm sure the tech companies or tech giants who are consuming a lot of water, I'm sure they must have certain set processes of discharging this water. They do not discharge the hot water directly into the streams or natural streams. They try to neutralize, before it flows into the natural sources. They try to minimize the impacts. But this is what I believe or I understand. If we try to build up such a data center of AI in the middle of, say, UAE or in the Middle East in Saudi Arab, this is not going to work because they don't have water sources. But they use AI and certain informative systems. So what? Should we deprive these countries if they don't have water sources to not use these technologies? So this is the question. So I think it's more of complementing each other, rightly judiciously using the resources that you have as a country, where the resources are available, we move the technology component there, and then everybody benefits. So I think there is also a sense and right of equality of access to this technology and everything around the world. That's what I think, in personal opinion.
Got it, got it, got it. Yeah, thanks for sharing your opinion. So, Madhish brought up this environmentally conscious consumers, and the youth is very environmentally conscious. So, my question to you, Professor Siddharth, is like based on your work on digital strategy, how can environmental and sustainability impact be integrated into the marketing narratives of these AI companies to build trust with these kind of environmentally conscious consumers that Madhish is talking about?
I'm not too sure whether they should be doing any marketing at the moment. I think
Okay.
they shouldn't try to actually give a people false hope or false pictures about the way in which they can do things. Probably one of the most innovative ways in which they can do something around it is to actually ask AI to solve this problem. Okay. So
Got it.
and I think that this is really critical, because the moment we understand that, this would be my strategy for any AI company who is trying to address this from a PR perspective. Get your goddamn AI to solve this problem, and see if it works. I don't know what else to say beyond that.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Makes sense. And actually, I created this post way back in October just to kind of sarcastically draw this issue. Like, if Indian moms who are sustainability experts found out that the ChatGPT used these many buckets of water that is equal to like 2.8 million plus cups of chai. So they would run behind Sam Altman or Satya Nadella with a balun. So yeah, this is just something that I kind of created to raise awareness.
Nice.
Yeah. So I do agree that companies should not kind of greenwash and over market themselves as environmentally sustainable or something that is not true at the moment. Of course, we all know that. So I do agree with your opinion as well. So, like, just a general question to both of you, like, is there a way we can raise awareness and inspire action on environmental issues, like particular roles that content creators like you, can play in promoting sustainable AI practices or in general environmental sustainability? If you have any opinion
I
on.
think I could go first. I think the negative campaigning is not working.
Yeah.
It's not working, right? So I think that the core aspect should be to find a way in which you can positively communicate the advantages of AI working in a cleaner world, rather than the way in which current work is happening. The second is, I think that the critical aspect is to not treat all people the same. There'll be some people who will be brand ambassadors for your movement, and they're the ones who we need to actually connect to, and actually have a much more targeted campaign rather than the way in which it's going on currently, because it kind of headless at the moment. Those are my initial observations about having any campaign around this.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Matish, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, sure. So, the entire weight of, this advocacy around environment and AI, I think it should not be pushed on us, but it should be pushed on the companies that too. It should be there, number one, because as general people who use AI, they are not aware of all these things, what they are doing or how much water is consumed, because it is their data servers and everything is there. I think one very important thing which all countries and all tech companies, tech giants should come together is come on some great research methodologies
Mhm.
and innovation systems through which they can increase the computing power of their machines. At the same time, mention that there's a lot of water consumed, how we can minimize this. I think this is the real change and sort of advocacy that is needed. So all tech companies must come together, may invest in a certain pool of money, do some research together, how data computing systems can be more efficient and all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely. It's a bigger role for them to play, of course. We are just a part of the game. So, definitely. So, let's move on to another segment on AI welfare or AI worker rights that has been going on. Let's see what opinion do you have on that. Let me share my screen first. We will watch a video. Okay. You can listen to the voice, right?
Yes.